I'm Marge Hunter, and I work for the Administrative Office of the Courts. I work for the Appellate Division. My title would be a Court Service Officer too, but I'm really a case manager. I do civil cases, I do criminal, and I do agency decisions that people appeal. I help people through the system, and that includes many a person that represents themselves. I sometimes refer to my job duties as a hostage negotiator, because what you need to, I try and get people to follow the rules of the court. So I have their papers and I contact them and say, I need you to correct them. And if they're unable to do that, then I say, look, I'm not going to file them. So we try and negotiate a little bit, as you might, a little bit.
Hi, my name is Jay Springer. I'm a supervisor and a scientist at the New Jersey DEP. I work in water monitoring and standards, and my job is to try and figure out why a good portion of the state's surface waters don't meet basic water quality. Sometimes that's simple. Maybe it's a treatment plant or a factory that's not doing enough to clean up their discharges. Sometimes it's as simple as a broken pipe or even an illegal discharge. And a lot of times it's like CSI. We have to do some detective work and figure out why it is. Sometimes there's something buried there that nobody knew about. Sometimes pollution comes from different sources. Maybe it's something running off of a parking lot or improper stormwater treatment of stormwater discharges. One thing that I'm working on right now is why a lot of our freshwater fishes are contaminated with mercury, and why there's fish advisories for a lot of our freshwater fishes. Why you can't eat certain fishes or only have limited amount of fish that you can eat per year per species. And a lot of that's coming from the air. So even though it's water and things that live in the water, a lot of it has to do with the things that we do and trying to figure out ways to fix that so we can have clean water and a safe environment.
My name is Steve Geiser. I work for the Administrative Office of the Courts in the Purchasing Unit. The courts, to provide justice, need basically products and services to be purchased. My job is to make sure that we taxpayers get the best for the buck. One of the things I often do is make sure that when we do contracts with facilities for training, for example, I make sure that the contracts are written so we don't get stuck paying for more than we should, as places will often try to do, and we try to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's pretty much what I do. We try to use our resources and our abilities to save some money.
Well, I really wish the governor would stick to his word. He said he loved collective bargaining, and I'd like to see him live up to that and collective bargain instead of stonewalling at the negotiating table. I happen to be a councilman in the town I live in, and we've opened up a couple of contracts with my police and our public works folks, and we've collectively bargained and saved our taxpayers in my town several thousands of dollars through the collective bargaining process. I support collective bargaining. It's something that works. It saves taxpayers money, and I don't know why he's just trying to force his agenda on the people and the middle class workers in New Jersey.
I think the governor's attacks on health care and pensions, etc., the way it's being phrased in the public is really disingenuous. For example, he talks about the fact that how much money state workers make versus the public sector, and he's comparing apples and oranges, and that needs to be clear, because if you go by education and experience, as you factor those out, we're actually making less. In addition to that, the way that they're phrasing about these benefits that are gifts to us, and they're not, they're part of the entire package of payment. And if you put that all together, compare with people in, again, similar background, similar training, similar education level, age, etc., we're not making more. It's part of a package of payment. Shared sacrifice only screws people at the bottom, so that's not shared, first of all, when it comes to taxes. In addition to that, there are changes going on because of some of the things like the caps on spending, the 2% cap. What that means is there's going to be a tax increase in another way. So people are now paying for way more for their garbage and all these other services that they're paying little bits and pieces, and if you add them up, they're really a tax. But he's not counting them as a tax, so they don't count. We are being taxed more in again, an underhanded way, and the people who have been doing well off since Christie Whitman put in her tax cuts, they're doing significantly better and been getting better for years. We need all to share the same sacrifices. They're not sharing that, and it's time to.
Again, it's not shared sacrifice. I think the sacrifice is coming from the working class, from middle class wage earners, from blue collar workers, union or non-union. As far as I know, the state is still collecting sales tax at the same rate it always has been. I don't think my income tax has gone down at all, but yet aid to municipalities, aids to school districts, programs have been slashed drastically. That's not being passed on to working class New Jerseyans, and there is no shared sacrifice. That's just that's a red herring that's being put out there.
Negotiation. That's what you should be doing.